All right, everybody. Welcome to Kolbstrong's Benching and Bullshitting. I'd like to come on here and bullshit with y'all, talk bench press, all that good stuff. So we're doing that. Let's go ahead and just get started out the gate. Thank you all for being here once again at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for episode 62. We're up 62 now. That's pretty cool. I know we're over 100 episodes as far as the entire Kolbstrong's podcast goes, period. But we're up to 62 on the Benching and Bullshitting series. So what we got here? I don't have anything really exciting as far as benching goes because last week sucked, man. I just once in a while I have a workout where it sucked, but I analyzed it, talked with Katie, talked with my friends, and we came up with a couple of ideas. Got James on here. What's going on? Hope to see you at the XPC Worlds. He's going to compete at the XPC Worlds on Sunday. All right, very good, very good. Hope to see you there. Make sure you stop by the Anderson Powerlifting booth. I cannot remember what number is it? Let me just check real quick. I'm going to get on my phone. I don't like doing that, but I want to make sure I can get this right. And I deleted all my text messages to make room on my phone to record my Patreon earlier. So I don't have any more text messages. I think it's 1621, booth 1621 maybe. Get on my phone one more time just to figure that out real quick. Once I figure it out, I'm going to put it in the comment section here. Let me see. Back in stock. Let's see. Yep, 1621. No shit, I got that right. So that doesn't happen very often. So we will be no, not yet. Don't end. I'm gonna put this in the chat real quick. Anderson. Yep. Powerlifting booth 1621. We will be Anderson Powerlifting at the Arnold Classic booth 1621. Hope to see a lot of you there. I'll be working all 3 days. Obviously, I'm also competing Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday, we're benching at 11 up at the Rogue stage. And then Sunday, we're benching at noon. So I think Saturday's like 11 to 1. And then Sunday's noon to 4. If it goes that long, it depends on how many attempts we have to make. I had to make 6 attempts at this past Arnold at the last man standing. So it could go that long, or it could not. Pretty exciting news. And damn it, got Jeff Frank calling me. I ain't bullshit. Yeah, he's actually calling me. Damn. I gotta let him go. I gotta talk to y'all. I got some exciting news. I finally got myself a referral code that you guys can use for your elements. So if you want to get yourself some element packets right here. If you check the show notes, check the description below the video, there's actually a link. There is a code that you can go to. If you're a first-time buyer and you use the referral link that I have down there for drinkelement.com, you'll get a free sample pack with your first order. That helps you. That also helps me out a little bit. It's not a money thing, but I get some element out of it as well. So if you do that for me, if you go drinkelement.com and use the referral link that I have in the description of this video. I think I also have it on my link tree on my Instagram. So if you go to Instagram, which is Kolbstrong, KOLBSTORONG, you can also find that in the link tree. You can use that referral code to get yourself some element, stay salty, get some packets. That'll help me as well because that's going to get me some element, and I will be able to move towards my next goal, which is benching 1,500 pounds. So if you do that, you are directly helping me, whether you know it or not, towards benching 1,500. So thank you all for that. Damn, Jeff. Damn. All right. I'll call him back later. We got James. We got Alex. What's going on? We got Thomas. Hey, Jim. I know you talked about hitting the 1,500 pounds at some point for 3/4 of a metric ton. That's an American ton, not a metric ton, but yeah, exactly. He says, but a metric ton is actually 2,204 pounds. So 3/4 would be 1,653.47 pounds. So an American ton, AM, is 2,000 pounds. So it would be 3/4 of an American ton. I know it's not a metric ton. So I kept getting confused whenever Eddie Hall did his 1,100 pound deadlift back in 2016 at the Giants Live. And they kept calling it the half-ton deadlift. And I'm like, well, a half-ton deadlift's already been done. What are you talking about? Half-ton as in half of a metric ton, which is 2,204. Half of that is 1,102. 500 kilos. So 1,000 kilos, 500 kilos, metric ton. I don't deal with metrics. He says, all right, yeah, I count in kilos. Yeah, I still use freedom units. I like inches and pounds and gallons and stuff like that. So, and Thomas says exactly, because I use 1 ton here. It's also 1K, as in 1,000 kilograms. Yep, exactly. There you go. Yeah, I can't do the metric stuff. That was one of the biggest blemishes of my middle school, high school, just elementary school, my school in general. I could not. I didn't get it. I was like, well, why can't we just do this in inches and feet? Why we got to do meters and fucking M's? All these M's, millimeter, centimeter, kilometer, fucking. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's always confused me. So anyhow, but yeah, I like to come on here as well, not just talk about the training and stuff like that, things that I am currently using as far as products go. Again, I'm not sponsored by any supplement company. I have not been sponsored by one since 2019. And I always like to talk about some of the protein that I get. And actually, I just came upon another brand that I've used frequently in the past. And I keep coming back to this brand. And I want to know if y'all think the same thing. And for those listeners, I have a tub of BSN's Syntha 6. Good grief. Like, I look forward to drinking this Syntha 6. I do. I love Syntha 6. It is delicious. And I can mix it in my blender bottle, and it's never chunky. I have never had a chunky Syntha 6 whey protein shake. It's actually it's a protein blend as well, which is really cool. So it's got slow release, medium, and fast release protein. So it's good for any time of the day, before bed, middle of the day. So yeah, Syntha 6. I went on Muscle and Strength. If you go on to muscleandstrength.com, they have deals once in a while. And I got 2 of these 5-pound tubs. Bought one for, I think, $70, and I got a second one for $4. Plus free shipping, I think. I can't remember. But yeah, 10 pounds for $75, Syntha 6, absolutely. So again, I'm not tied down to any particular brand. I'm not sponsored by any of them. So every now and again, I just kind of come around and this Traps of Syntha 6 Cold Stone flavors is awesome. I stick to the basics. I like the I think it's actually called milk chocolate. Let's see here. Chocolate milkshake. That's what this one is. That's the one I stick to. I'm a chocolate guy. I don't like all the funky flavors, especially when it comes to protein. But yeah, I just can't. Oh man, so happy I ran back into this stuff because I'm trying to increase my protein intake. My calories are high. My weight gainer is good to go, but my protein needs to come up because I'm trying to gain weight, healthy weight. I'm trying to gain lean, I'm trying to gain muscle. So I need to increase my protein intake, and this is a fantastic, easy, wonderful way for me to get that protein in. So again, Syntha 6. I'm back on that stuff. It'll be 10 pounds. That should last me till about the Arnold. And then obviously I'll rely heavily on my weight gainer shakes while I'm at the Arnold to maintain calories for energy when I go to these back-to-back bench press meets. Got David Harrington on here. What's going on, dude? My friend from up north, Michigan. LMNT is a massive game changer for how simple it is. It really is. I mean, it says right here on the box. It literally has 3 ingredients: sodium, potassium. That's really bright. There we go. Get it closer. Sodium, potassium, and magnesium. That is all. There is nothing in here that you don't want. Everything you want, nothing you don't. 1,000 milligrams of sodium per packet. So that's 1 gram of salt. It's awesome. Again, that promo code, the referral link is in the description of this video, or if you go to my Instagram, Kolbstrong, you can also find it in the link tree in my upper description. And if you click that and use that referral link, free sample pack for you. I get some element out of it as well, and that helps me. Alexander, what's on? What's going on, dude? 1,000. Oh, okay. Cohen and Gigzig 1. I don't know what that means. Something about 1,000 horsepower to 1,000 kilos. That is trippy. I'm not sure what that means. Let's see. Yo, this is Trap says, try the German chocolate Cold Stone flavor. You'd like it. I will have to look that up. Thank you very much. Dennis, what's going on? And Paul Loffer's on here as well. What's going on, guys? Thanks for joining me here tonight. If you haven't hit that like button yet, if you want to do that for me real quick, that really helps me out too. If you want to hit that like button, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, go ahead and do that if you could. If you want to see more content like this, that lets me know that y'all like me coming on here and talking to y'all. Dennis says, hey, I just entered the APO meet, Massachusetts on February 17th. They're already hosting meets. Okay, that should be the first one, is it not? APO, brand new federation. I don't know a lot about it. It's reminiscent of WPO, but it's something different. I'm not really sure how that works. But yeah, cool. Massachusetts in February. Alex is in Massachusetts, I believe. Oh, it's a supercar. Oh, Cohen. Oh, I'm such a moron. Cohen. I can't even pronounce. Koenigsegg 1 is 1,000 horsepower to 1,000 kilos. So it's like a 1-to-1 ratio almost. It weighs 1,000 kilos and has 1,000 horsepower. That should be pretty damn fast. Supercar. Got it. Fester 68. Hello from T County. I think I know. That sounds familiar. There's a feaster I went to school with, or it was a grade or two above me. Well, hello from T County. I like T County. We're from there. We don't live there currently, but we are definitely from there. Dennis says it's his first meet. APO is first meet. Awesome. Good to go. Yeah, talking about the American Ton. Got it. Yeah, okay. No shit. So Mass Iron is hosting that APO meet. I'll be damn. I was there for a seminar last year. Good to go. Okay, cool. I didn't expect that. I thought I would have thought it'd be a different fit like RPS. I thought that since you go there, but yeah, APO at the Mass Iron. Good grief, that's awesome. Paul Offer says bench is coming along great. Just got home from benching. Good. All right. Now I'm soaking in a hot tub. My back is locked up. Wouldn't that be nice? That'd be fucking sweet to have a hot tub. I've only been in a couple. That sounds dumb, but like I've only been in a couple my entire life. I don't do it very often. I just cooked up 1.5 pounds of steak about an hour ago, so you're probably gonna hear me burp once in a while. Try to keep it down for you, but it might happen. Jeff Johnson, what's up, man? Yeah, Jeff Johnson. He joined us from Massachusetts as well. Jeff Johnson messaged me a couple of weeks ago and wanted to know if he could come down and bench. And I said, yeah, all you got to do is show up and we'll bench. And he got himself an 85-pound PR, full range. He benched 630 at a meet not too long ago, and he ended up benching 715. So 6 reds on my F8 bench bar. So it was pretty cool of him. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Massachusetts here. That's awesome. We got Alex. We got Jeff Johnson here. And Jeff Johnson is one of Bench and Benny's, Nick Benarax's clients as well. So I've known Nick for quite a few years. Let's see. And Jeff also, how much LMNT do you use at a time? I drink 2 to 3 packets per day. So 2 to 3 grams of sodium per day is what I average. If I'm trying to really beef it up for like Saturday bench or Sunday squat, I'll take in 4 to 5 packets in a 24-hour period. Salt is one of the most critical substances to get into your body, although, of course, all the things, sands, if you live a sedentary lifestyle, you probably shouldn't be taking as much in, but for a high-capacity athlete, strength athlete, things like that, I mean, you gotta get it in you. Oh, let's see. Oh, Alex says, sorry, the APO is at Evolve Fitness. That's John Rupo's gym. I like that name, Evolve. That's pretty cool. Like we're evolving into something else, by lifting weights and powerlifting. Gotcha. And now that's for Alex. Okay. Mass Iron hosted APF meets. Got it. Jeff Johnson says that was awesome. Thanks again, bud. Hey, you're welcome back anytime. Bring Katrina, bring your other guys, bring Nick. Come back. I know it's a haul. Me and Katie made that trip last year. I actually took her to Salem. So we got to Massachusetts on what day was it? Thursday or Friday night. Spent the night in a hotel, woke up, went to Salem for like 12 hours, and I was not a happy camper because I had to walk for 12 hours. I was my batteries had ran out the first hour, and we were there for 12, and that was cool. Then the next day, we went to Mass Iron and hosted a seminar there. Well, I had the most attendance at that time. I had like 20 some people there, which is the biggest I've ever had. So that tells me people are interested in what I have to say, which makes doing that worth it. So yeah, bring. You're welcome back. I say that all the time, like open invitation, everybody. Like if you want to come bench with us, the only thing that's required is that you just make the trip and show up. That's it. You know, the first workout is free at Unleashed Strength in Manassas Park. It doesn't cost you a thing besides the travel. If you want to spend a couple of days, there's hotels literally within about a 3 or 4 mile radius of the gym, not very far. Manassas Park is a pretty decent little area. You know, there's every area is going to have its rough spots, but they're far and few between. Up where we are there in Manassas Park. So, open invitation. Come on by. AM says, "Do you ever get kidney stones?" Nope, never had one in my life. So yeah, the training this weekend was kind of off. I was kind of pissed. But like I said at the beginning of the show, me and my friends and Katie, we kind of came together collectively and we figured out what the problem was. So problem number one is I was coming off of a deload week. So the deload week was when I did that 1,000 pounds for 4 reps on the floor press. Now it was a floor press, and 1,000 pounds is pretty heavy for that variation for me. That's a very, very, very difficult movement for me to do. 1,000 pounds was very difficult. Now, and 4 reps was like there. I probably could have done 5. Owen thought I was going to do like 6 the way it was moving, but using pound plates was really making it. The bar was reverberating quite a bit, so I had to kind of cut it early. But it was a 1 rep PR, so I was happy. And but 1,000 pounds for me is literally like. Where's my phone? I'll do the math real quick. If we use my 1,400, how do you fucking? I don't know how you do it. So, anyway, 1,000 pounds is like 70%, 72% for me. So that is a deload as far as the pressure on my body and the stress that it does on my body. Now, my hands take a beating from doing floor press a lot more, and I can't quite figure out why. I asked in Patreon to give me some ideas, like why does floor press pulverize my palms worse than just like benching? So we came up with some ideas for that. But either way, the load on my body is very, very minimal. I did 1,000 pounds for 20 reps on the bench off a 2 board like 2 weeks prior. Like it's not, that sounds so fucking stupid. It's not that heavy for me. It just isn't. Percentage wise, it's not, right? On paper even. So coming off of a deload week, my entire career, all the years I've been lifting competitively, non-competitively, anytime I come off of a deload week, I just drag ass the next week. It happens every fucking time, which is why I hate deloading, because it fucks me up. But I need to deload. I got to be smart about this because the weights are getting pretty fucking dumb. So I deloaded, and then I came back this past weekend, and I just drug ass. Everything was heavy. Everything sucked. Nothing went right. And I poo-pooed out, and I got real pissed. I put all my effort into my accessory work, though. My tricep work was fucking awesome. Strength is very high, so I know it was just like coming off the deload week that really fucked me up. Second thing was the bench pad. So I found out that at the Arnold, we're actually using a Rogue 14-inch wide fat pad. I'm like, oh, I've been training on a 12-inch pad for the last 4 months in preparation because last time I was at the Arnold, the last man standing, we were just using a standard 12-inch pad. We're not doing that this year. So I was like, shit. Well, okay. I'll go back to the 14. Now, the 14-inch pad that we do have was made by Rick Davis from Edge Fitness. So now he's retiring, and I think his son doesn't want to do it anymore, so his business is pretty much just kind of going to liquidate, and he's going to be living retirement happily. He made that pad for me over a year ago, and I have since worn out the head of the pad, and I have flipped it and used the untouched side and worn that side out. That pad is shot. When I took out my top weight for the day, which was 1265, like, whoop-de-doo. But I took it out. When I had the weight, I I tilted. I was like, uh-oh. I was, because the pad is just crumble. It's deformed. It's got waves in it. It's shot. The best pad in the world, the most durable, most rigid, most awesome bench pad that money could produce and buy, does have a limit. It does have a shelf life. It will wear out after time. So I've been using that pad consistently for over a year, rates ranging from 1,000 all the way up to 1,450 pounds. It's shot. So those are the two things that kind of made the workout kind of meh. So this coming weekend, unless my new pad comes, but then I got to put inserts in it and make sure I can. This weekend, I'm going to go back to the 12-inch pad, which kind of sucks, but it is very thin, it is very firm, and it is not worn out. And that will be better. So anyway, I ordered a pad. As much as I wanted to support Rogue, and I love Donnie Thompson to death, and I wanted everything, fat pad. I couldn't fork out the $180 to buy one. I went with REP, or the company called Rep, I guess. And they make a 14-inch wide pad that's about standard thickness. So it's not like 4 inches. It's pretty standard. It's 14 inches wide. And it was $70. Free shipping. So I bought that. Just because I got to be budget conscious sometimes. And so anyway, that's on the way. Probably won't be here in time. Even if it arrived tonight or tomorrow, I'd have to go to Lowe's. I got to put wood inserts in there so I can screw it to the bench. I got to do measurements and mark where my holes got to go. It's this whole thing. So I wouldn't get that done in time anyway. That was a mouthful. Let's get back to the chat box here. What we got? AM asks, do you ever plan on doing any meets in Kentucky? I was in Kentucky. What was I there for? Hang on. Why was I in Kentucky? I competed in Tennessee. Why was I in Kentucky? Oh, yeah. I was there for the north of the border that Laura Phelps and Leah Reichman host. I was there. Right across the river from Cincinnati. What was the gym called? River City Barbell. Go figure. So I was there. Yeah, I don't know. Just depends on what the Fed is. Hopefully IPA. If I'm ready for a competition, if my numbers are where they want to be, which they're not right now, not even close. I'm not opposed to it. I just gotta have the funds to travel and bring my crew, at least part of my crew that can help me out. And then, I'm not opposed to it. I've been to Kentucky plenty of times. David Harrington says 71% pretty spot on with mental math. Very good. Faster 68 says 68% divided by the big number into the smaller one. Let me try it. It says divide the big number into the smaller one. 1,000 divided by 1,400. Oh yeah, 71%. Got it. Yeah, 71, 428, 571. So 71% is about pretty accurate. Cool. All right, cool. Yeah. Let's see. Gravestrong says, is there any potential for a strong medium grip instead of a max wide grip in equip bench? I got to read that twice. Is there any potential for a strong medium grip instead of a max width grip in equip bench? Well, yeah, I suppose there is. If you're strong, I mean, it's just that'd be a very case by case basis. In my opinion, that's always going to hinder you in equipped because the wider the grip, the more shirt you are going to have. If you bring your grip in, so let's just say the bar sitting in the rack, you have a very tight shirt on, or even kind of medium tight shirt, and you take a full maximum grip width, right, all the way out, trigger finger on the rings, maximum legal width. While the bar is sitting there, you are already stretching. You are already preloading that shirt, right? And then you bring it out. You crack your elbows to start your descent. Now the shirt is stretching more and more and more and more. It's going to give you more support. That's for poly or band shirts. That doesn't matter. Even denim to some degree. If you bring the grip in, you are limiting how much you are stretching the shirt before the lift even begins. Therefore, the shirt is less taut when you take it out. It won't begin that initial stretch until a further down the road, which means it's ultimately going to give you less. Now, under the same breath, you could argue, well, the bar has to travel a further distance because my grip is a little bit more narrow, so therefore it should negate that. It should still stretch a lot because I'm increasing the distance. But in my mind, the way to go with equipped bench is to go maximum grip width. You're limiting your range of motion, taking full advantage of the equipment you're wearing. Why not just go all the way out? Now, if you just happen to experiment and you go medium, and somehow you are stronger that way, don't listen to a word I just said. Just go with it. I don't know everything. But in my opinion, I think going medium or, less than full maximum grip width is going to actually hinder your equip bench. Hydrate real quick. Let's see. Alex says, Jimmy, do you plan on doing any more bench press history videos? I haven't done one of those in a long time. Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. We're trying to be consistent with YouTube. It's just so damn hard. With everything else we got going on, I want to be consistent. I want to put out a bunch of content, but I also want to be original. I don't want to have this regurgitated crap, putting out there. So when I kind of am fresh out of ideas, I had my couple that really popped off. The one was my dumbbell floor press hack video that I put on my YouTube page, where I'm actually on the floor. So instead of having to pick the dumbbells up on your legs and lay back like this, you set up a bench perpendicular to you. You put the dumbbells on top of the bench, you lay down, and you self-hand off the dumbbells to yourself and then rack them back on the bench. That video really took off. That was original. I didn't share that with anybody for a decade or more because I learned that at Blackstone's when I was like 18 or 19 years old, So it's just hard because I want to be original and I want to have good content. Not, like I said, not this cookie cutter regurgitated crap. I don't want to be a shit fluencer. I want to have good stuff that people can actually learn from and get value from. But it's just hard. It's just like, okay, I put out all this information. What else could there possibly be that people want to see? It's hard because it's a very saturated market, He says, yes, that hack is awesome. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I still use it to this day. I still use that dumbbell floor press hack to this day. And speaking of workouts and stuff like that, if you want to see what I do, every workout, every exercise, every rep with full commentary, subscribe to Patreon. It's $10 a month. You get to watch everything that I do, all the behind the scenes stuff, to the big benches in the gym and on stage, on the platform. There's a lot of work that goes into it. It's not just put on a shirt and go. It's a lot more to it. So again, if you're interested in that, I'm over 100 members. Again, I'm being very consistent with over 100 members now, 102, which is just going from what it was 4 years ago. It'll be 4 years, I believe. February 5th will mark my 4th year running the Patreon. I remember getting my first member and my second, and 5 was a big deal to me. When I got to double digits, when I hit 10, it's so cool. So if you want to do that again, it's Kolbstrong, KOLBSTORONG, one word, on Patreon. It's $10 a month. The support is greatly appreciated. If you don't want to have to download Patreon, another app, and subscribe, you can just go to my YouTube right here. YouTube members, same content, same price, $10. YouTube members. And Alex says Patreon is definitely worth it. Well, thank you very much. I try to make it worth it. I try to keep it interesting. I do the same thing every week, relatively speaking, same schedule, but it's all for a goal. And you get behind the scenes stuff too. When we travel, when we do competitions, you see all the warm up stuff and my attempts, both missed and accomplished, and going out to eat. This is all the prep work behind even going to competitions. If I do seminars, the seminars get put up there as well. Those are a little bit rough because they tend to be very long videos, and trying to upload a 3-hour video becomes quite difficult. Then I try chopping it up, and that gets messy. So I might try, next time I do a seminar, I might try to live stream it in Patreon. I think that's a thing you can do. You can actually do live streams in Patreon, and that might be something I do where I just set up the phone, live stream it, so all my Patreon members can actually just watch it live. That might be an option. Oh boy, I missed a few. Fester68 says, who is the closest to your 1463 and what are they lifting? Well, the 1463 was just a training lift. It was a one board, and I cut it short. I was about a half board from the one board because I was like, oh shit, I pushed it, or I was like, it was just very fucking heavy. The heaviest weight I've seen, straight weight. Now there's reverse band stuff, that's not real because it's taking weight off. I've seen Carlino. He hit a 1,300 two board at one point a year or two ago. I've seen Mendy go up to 1,200 from like a two board. Meeker has done 12 in the gym, straight weight. I think I'm probably missing some people, but there's so many competitors. So, but that was a training lift. That doesn't count. It doesn't mean anything. It's what you do on the platform that matters. Gravestrong says, if you had to train equipped bench by yourself, no spots, no help on racking, only safety pins. This is a good question for Toby Hurley. How would you go about it? I am doing 475 to 500 pounds self handoffs in a Widowmaker and other gear in my garage. Oh boy. Well, here's what I would do. If I was in that position, in my opinion, this is what I would do if it was me. I would be in a power rack. I would have the safety pins set up to a certain point to where if I touched full range, the pins would be like a half inch away. So that if I happen to dump the weight, it would land on the pins and I wouldn't get hurt. The other thing I would do is I would have the monolift hooks. You could buy them from Rogue, Titan Fitness. Don't recommend Titan Fitness. They're not as good as Rogue. Buy the hooks. Put them up in your power racks at the bar in there. So the bar is over your body. So you don't have to like pick it out of the rack and then pull it out to you. You can just extend the hooks, swing away, and then you can do your benching and then put them back in the hooks. The other thing I would do, honestly, if I was in that position, I would really, really try to get a training partner, at least to show up for bench. Hey, man, can you help me bench for an hour? Then you can go. Just somebody, a close friend, a relative, my wife, somebody to get hands on that bar and help me out. That's one of the first things I'd be doing. If that was absolutely not going to happen no matter what, or you're completely against that, you have to bench in extremely safe circumstances. Put all the safety precautions you can. I've seen guys actually put giant wooden blocks or boxes, but they got to be like really thick, sturdy boxes on both sides of the power rack or the bench, acting as safety pins, where if they get in trouble, they could just roll the bar. It would land on these boxes or something like that. But that could also get kind of janky because then the bar can roll and then it can land on you. So just do your research and figure out the best way to do that for yourself, because benching by yourself has been known to be a problem as far as injury and death is concerned in the past. So you absolutely need to bench in a very safe environment if you were going to train alone. Thomas, right? Yeah. Thomas says, I got the impression that even despite doing 12 weeks of consistent floor press and later on Spotos that were much heavier than I've ever done full range in the same volume and 5x5 RGP, I had no budge increase of my bench at all. So I'm probably doing something really wrong. It's a process. It's a process of eliminating things that bring you no results. For example, me, overhead pressing and dips, like weighted dips. Two things that some people absolutely swear by. Jeremy Hoornstra, awesome example. One of the most talented raw benchers to ever exist, to ever live, swore by overhead press and weighted dips. Swim hack. Oh, come on. I want to be a dick. What's his name? Swim hack. Come on. Somebody drop the name. James Strickland, Alex with the win. Big W for Alex. Thank you. James Strickland, another one. Really, really heavy on overhead work, on incline work, close grip work, dips, stuff like that. James Strickland, another big raw bencher, 650, I believe, 660. I did dips as well. I did overhead work, and I got nothing but pain, and my bench went nowhere. Now, my overhead press might go up. My dipping ability would go up. I went from being able to dip with 5 plates to 7 plates over a few months for reps. And my bench went nowhere. So those things had no carryover. So floor press might not have carryover for you. You try something for a while, give it an honest try. Give it a month, give it 2 or 3 months. And if it brings you no results, you scratch it and move on to the next thing. It could just simply be that. Now, I'm one where I get a lot out of floor press when I do it equipped. I don't get anything out of it when I go raw. I don't go raw anyway, because what's it mean to me? But that's one thing I really use that brings me a lot of success. Dead stop presses and equipment, floor presses and equipment, stuff like that. So it might just not work for you because we're all different. Paul Offer says, are you going to Matt Brooks's meet March 23rd in Bristol? I probably won't be there. I don't have anybody competing for my crew that's doing that meet. And I think we're trying to go out to Rob Farrell's. And that's a week or two after the Arnold Classic, which is a big trip for us. And I'll probably be sick. We always get sick when we go to the Arnold. If we're around tens of thousands of people over 3 days from all over the globe, you're bound to pick something up. So, no, we probably won't be able to make it. But maybe make another one of Matt's meets here in the future. Alex, Jimmy, what are your opinions on heavy rack lockouts after shirt work? If your hands can take it, absolutely go ahead and do it. My hands are always too damn fried from the heavy weight and the thick bars and the knurling to do any kind of heavy lockout work or floor press work after I bench, because my skin is just raw from all the heavy weights. So if you can do it, if you have the tenacity or if you have the pain tolerance, go ahead and do it. I think that's a great thing to do. I used to do that when the weights were a little bit lighter, but since going up 12, 13, 14 on a consistent basis, my hands have a very, very short shelf life when it comes to how long they last in the gym on a bench day. Let's see. David Harrington says, after bands and multiply, any plans on a return to single ply to break your old record? That is an excellent question, David. You're not the first to ask it, but you're the first one to ask it recently. It would be cool to come back and surpass it. I haven't thought about single ply in a long time because I've been so focused on like a couple of things. One I won't mention because it's a secret, unless you're on Patreon. And benching 1,500 pounds. So I have not put any thought into doing single ply again, but it would be cool to kind of take a step back. To take several large steps back and go back into single ply poly and increase that 1120 to whatever I could put it. That'd be cool. When I think about it, I like it, but I don't think about it very often. But thank you for bringing it up. That's a good question. Gravestrong says, is there a place for equipped pin presses, or are they inferior to board press, block press? No, I do pin presses all the time. I call them pin extensions because you shouldn't actually be pressing off pins, especially if you're doing like the top end. It should not be a press. It should be an extension. So I call them pin extensions. I do them all the time. Mostly not in a shirt, more or less, but like a Widowmaker, like a single ply Widowmaker or an insert or two. Because when you're locking weights out in equipment, it is different than locking out weights when you're raw. So if you can mimic the movement, if I can do lockouts while in a supportive piece, that will have direct carryover to my equipped bench. See, that's kind of the idea I had. I started to say, okay, instead of doing lockouts raw, which is cool, I want to use more weight and have less pain in my pecs and shoulders. So I put a piece on, started doing lockouts that way, and that had direct carryover. Like, go figure. Now, when I do lockouts, like lockout work, like you're talking about without the pins, I use high reps. I use reps between 10 and 20 with maximum loads, which you can do because of the limited range of motion, limited ROM. You can do maximum weights for high reps. Doing maximum weight for like low reps, like singles and doubles and triples, that had no carryover whatsoever. I find that overloading that top end with maximum load, maximum high reps, that's where I got the carryover. So just take that for what it is. Another question from Gravestrong. Am I allowed to cut my katanas back? I'm sick of getting strangled if it rides up. You can do whatever you want to it. You can do whatever you want to it. Just keep in mind, I mean, it is your property. But if you go to a competition, some feds might not like that you cut it down the back. I call it the V cut. So you just take a pair of scissors and cut it down the back about 4 or 5 inches, and it gives it that V because it opens. It's not a full all the way down. It's like a V cut. We did that all the fucking time at Blackstone's. Some feds don't like that. If you compete single ply, they want the neck and the collar and the back to all be like from the factory, like connected. So if you do that, it's your property. Do what you want. Just keep in mind, if you want it to be competition legal, again, you can check your rule books or call your local meat director and say, hey, if I do this, is it still legal? And just, bypass my opinion or my thoughts and just go straight to the source and find out if that's okay. Thomas says, yeah, I talked to Tony Carlino about it as well. His impression is it's much easier for me to keep my back tighter on Spotos than full range. And I'm pretty sure he is right about that part. Cool. Glad. Yeah. Tony's a great source to talk to, man. He's a great guy and real nice, very smart, good friend of mine. So yeah, Tony Carlino is a very good wealth of knowledge to consult. James says, yes, Jimmy, a power rack for benching is great. 32 years lifting in a garage. Solid. He said sold and 62 years old. Work up to 650, 700 pounds alone when needed. Yeah. Hey, that's Jesus Christ. That's a lot, man. Yeah. This always be safe. For fuck's sake, please, everybody be safe if you're going to bench. Be safe on the bench, period, because the nature of the lift, like your entire body, face, neck, teeth, chest, xiphoid process, belly, if you go a little below the belt too, but your entire body is underneath the bar. If it goes, it's going on you somewhere. So just be very safe when you're benching. Alexander says, well, if you did go back to poly, you'd still be the last one to ever bench over a grand in poly. Yeah, that's true. We were talking about that a little while ago. To my knowledge, after I benched 1035 in March of 2020, March? Yeah, it was March. That was the last person to bench 1,000 pounds in poly. Now, like Hoff had done it before me by a year or two, but he's repeated that feat over and over and over again. I get that. But as far as another person doing it, that 1,035 is the last poly bench over a grand to my knowledge. Every other bench done since then has been in a band shirt. So after all this time, going back to a poly, especially single ply, and trying to be successful would be quite a challenge, but that's kind of the fun part too. I'd probably go back. If I had to go single ply, it'd be a katana. As much as I don't want to say it, but man, you cannot beat, as far as single ply goes, you cannot beat a single ply katana. There's no other single ply shirt out there that is quite like a katana. I can say that. I can take it to the bank. And I always joke if it's going to take someone to bench a minimum of 1,121 pounds in a different shirt besides a katana to change my mind. Oh, Paul Lawfer says, how do you relieve pain in your hands? My hands are getting very sore or go numb. I wish mine would go numb. That'd be nice. No, I don't do anything. I just bear through it. That's what I do. I don't do anything. I mean, it's hard to see on camera, but my palms are very thick, lots of callus. I just bear through it because I know it's worth it. It sucks. It hurts. I was using like Duke's Cannon makes working hands. It's this little cream, this balm that like you could put on your hands if you're a working man. It helps repair your damaged skin. Didn't do anything for me, so I don't know. just adapt. That's the word I would use, because you're benching in the pretty consistently, Paul. I see you benching in the 6s, 7s, and the 8s. And it's just going to take adaptation over time. That's my best advice. Alex says, what is your opinion on reverse bands, raw or equipped? Use them sparingly. Don't rely on them too heavy. Bands, when they contract fast. And if you don't believe me, take a rubber band and pull it back and let go. It contracts very fast. It'll go flying. It doesn't like creep back to its original position. So when you stretch a band and you're bringing a weight down, the band is stretching. It wants to accelerate the weight back up, which is not how straight weight works, right? So use them sparingly. I haven't done a reverse band setup. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's been years. I want to get proficient and good at lifting straight weight, because what do we do on the platform? We lift straight weight. So that's what I do. I think twice last year. One was a floor press, one was an actual bench. Twice last year, I used chains. If that tells you anything about all the workouts I did in 23. I think on 2 occasions I used chain weight. That's it. I didn't use bands. I reverse bands. I haven't done that in years. Use it sparingly. Don't rely on it too heavy. Gravestrong. Oh, wait, hang on. Thomas says, we all know which Fed likes nothing. Sigh. The Fed that won't be named. Gravestrong. Do you know anything about 365 strong Fed? Would it be good for a beginner? Sure, it'd be good for a beginner. It's just another Fed. I don't particularly like 365 strong because of their standards. They kind of bring the standard of benching down. It always seems to be the problem is benching in that Fed. The squats are fine. Deadlift is deadlift. You can't really fuck that one up. Benching is where I have a problem with 365 strong, because they allow the head spotter to literally, you can literally have your head spotter have his hands on the bar. This is videos that I have seen. I've seen this successful bench with the head spotter literally hands, fingers curled around the bar, the entire lift up and down, and somehow it counts. So I have strong opinions. I'll just keep them to myself. But for a beginner, sure, go ahead and do it. But I've had meet directors come on here before and ask if I would ever consider, and I was like, no disrespect to you personally, because I don't even know you, but your federation is A, B, C, D, E, F, and all these reasons. It's actually on my top 5 list of federations I'll never compete with, if it says anything. But for a beginner, just get the experience. But I will never lift with them because yeah. Paul Offer right there. 365 strong has low integrity and give out crappy lifts. Yeah, I have done several of their meets, very poorly ran meets. That's Paul Offer. That's not, those aren't my words. Yeah, there you go. There's more testament to 365 strong. Ooh. Alex says, do you think a long limb bencher, okay, so someone with long arms, would do better in multiply or single ply, or would it not make a difference? It won't make a difference as long as you have a stretchy material. You need a stretchy material. If you were a Titan guy, I would point you in the direction of an F6. Very, very thin, stretchier material. I would not steer you towards a katana. Katanas are very thick and stiff. A short limb lifter does great in a stiff shirt. So I do great in the katana. F6, not so much, but I'm trying to work. I don't want to use katanas for multiply. I'm trying to work with this multiply F6. It's a struggle. You need stretchy. If you were an Inzer guy, I would tell you to go with an SDP. Maybe don't buy one brand new, because they are very expensive and they won't last very long, but they are very, 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 very stretchy. I've held one in my hands before. It's very soft, very stretchy. That's why people like them so much. If you were an overkill, if you're interested in overkill, I know Rudy has black, red, and gray material. Black is the stiffest, red is in between. His gray line is like really stretchy. He says it's his stretchiest ever. So that'd be a direction you can go. If you're a long limb lifter, you need stretchy. That's why when Ryan Kennelly was at his peak, when he was benching in the 900s, that's when the Rage X was really big. And he wasn't quite on top yet. He was benching about 900 pounds, maybe 950. I think it was 900 in a Rage X. Stiff material. He was he's very long limb lifter. Once he switched to the SDPs, all of a sudden, 1,000 pounds, 1,010, 35, 50, 75, 74, 70, several attempts at 1,100 pounds. This is back in the 2000s. So He needed a stretchier material, long limb lifter. Boom, Ryan Kennelly, greatest bencher of all time. Still to this day. Alex says, as an old guy who benches heavy and has hand pain, I often will hold a cold soda in each hand for 10 minutes after benching. Oh, so like icing. The following morning, I run my hands under cold water for 5 to 10 minutes. I should probably try doing something like that. Fester, thank you. He says, come on, only 7 likes. Let's go. If you can hit the like button if you're watching, I really appreciate that. That really helps me out. Gravestrong, I need somewhere to start competing where I can also cut this damn katana. Does that exist? Help. Yeah, you have to check you just have to check the rule books. Call your meet director. If you say, oh, there's a meet an hour from my house or in my hometown, and it's this federation, find it online, find the entry form, see who the meet director is. They always have their phone number listed. Call them. Say, hey, I want to wear a katana. I'm single ply or I'm double ply. I want to cut it down the back. Is that okay? When I said some feds don't like when you do that, I was talking about maybe 2 or 3. Most feds don't care, but just always double check. Let's see. David Harrington says, I'm waiting on my F6 repair, but I'm in the middle of testing an F6 versus a super katana for long limbs. My wingspan is 4 foot longer than I am tall. 4 inches, 2 slashes, not 1, 4 inches longer than I am tall. That's insane. Is that that's not for everybody, right? I can't imagine. That's insane, David. Damn. Paul Offer says IPA has great meats. I agree. If you live in Virginia, Tennessee, or North Carolina, try out Matt Brooks's meats. Yes, Matt Brooks is the IPA state chair for both Virginia and Tennessee. I believe, did he pick up? No, I think Doug Smithy picked up North Carolina. Doug Smithy is the meat director for North Carolina, I believe. Yeah, there's meats. We got Virginia, you got York, Ohio, North Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee. Christ, where else? Practically everywhere. That's where I would go. IPA does not care what you do to your equipment. If you want to slit that shirt down the middle and the back, they won't care. IPA will not care. But again, just be safe and just call. I don't want to come down on me like, well, Jimmy Kolb said, and then they don't like it. It's just do me a favor. Wherever you decide to go, call the meet director ahead of time and ask these questions. Don't just take my word for it. Please do your due diligence and your research and just call them just to be sure. But I don't think IPA will care. Thomas says, I remember Kennelly saying that he needed a new SDP shirt every workout. He got them sent in packs weekly or something. Yes, I've had a similar conversation, and he was getting sent 7 SDPs a week. I don't want to quote, that's not a direct quote, but something like 7 or 8 SDPs a week. He'd put one on, do a set, toss it to the side, put the new one on, another set, throw it away, next shirt, throw it away. He would go through that many a workout because they stretch out that quick. They stretch out so damn quick. Direct story from Dan Daig of the XPC in Lexington Extreme in Ohio, Grove City. He said that he would buy an SDP for his gym. He'd buy an SDP that would fit his smallest guy, his 132-pound competitor. And it would stretch out so far that it would go up every weight class. So he'd buy one for his 132-pound guy, and it would go to the next guy, 148, to the 165 guy. And as each guy wore it out, it kept going up in sizes to the next guy above him, to where at the end of 2 or 3 months, that might be even generous saying that, probably a month, but the shirt would eventually end up in the hands of his biggest 350-pound dude at the end, because they stretch out that fast. That's a direct story from Dan Daig. Let's see. Alexander says RPS allows the back on a single ply to be cut. There you go. And Alexander is in the RPS. I can't remember, Alex, still a meet director? I can't remember. I think you are. I can't remember what we discussed. But yes, RPS allows it. IPA probably allows it, but double check. But right there, Alex knows for sure. He is absolutely He used to run meets all the time with RPS. He was a meet director, and he knows, yes, meet director and coordinator. There you go. So straight from a meet director and coordinator. There you go. RPS allows it, and they do not care. Oh, Jesus Christ. Gravestrong also says, I would gargle broken glass and dance on dirty needles just to understand my katana. Oh, man. I mean, I'm the katana guy. I mean, ask away. It's hard to do from a distance. Like it's on here. It's very hard for me to articulate, know exactly what your problem is. But open invitation as well to everybody that's listening and also on the live stream right now. If you have questions, if you want to talk equipment, if you have things you don't know, DM me on Instagram, KOLBSTRONG, 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 right there on Instagram. DM me some videos. Tell me what's going on. I will critique that video and make sure you know exactly what needs to be done. So open invite. Again, go to Instagram, find me, Kolbstrong, one word, DM me some videos. I will help you out. I love hate katanas. I used all different types of katanas for 13 years. Double ply, single ply, triple ply, open back, close back, grid stitch, not grid stitch, triple double, double single, scoop, no scoop, scooped back, not scooped back, all types. So ask away. Alex says those SDPs are $300 for a 2-ply and $350 for a 3-ply. Okay, so again, not cheap. Now, you could turn around if you go to AndersonPowerlifting.com right here behind me and also use Kolbstrong right there, KOLBSTRONG, one word, as a discount code. You can save 10% on anything in the store minus the F8 Sportcraft bench bar. Doesn't work for the bar. Use Kolbstrong at Anderson Powerlifting behind me here. You can go buy a 2-ply F8 Customs band shirt. They run about $395. With my discount, they will be around $350, give or take, 10% discount. If someone wants to do the math for me, 10% of $395, 10% discount, $395. I'm not sure what the math is in my head. But you could buy an equally expensive, you could buy a 2-ply F8 Customs bench shirt. And that, my friends, will last countless workouts. And that will last you years. You can get tons of use out of it for endless amount of workouts, okay? So if you want to invest in something that's going to last you like actually for years, go with an F8. Get a 2-ply F8 from AndersonPowerlifting.com. And again, use code Kolbstrong for 10% off. That's anything in the store, not just the F8 products. Anything in the store is 10% off. And then Alex is also before tax and shipping, of course. Yeah. Some dude says, if you had to choose between dumbbell or easy curl barbell skull crushers for trail triceps, or he says rear triceps. Just curious, I have a fairly limited home gym, and it's what I'm working with currently. If I had to choose one, I would definitely go with the barbell. I would go with the easy bar. 1, it's cheaper than dumbbells. 2, it is a style of bar. It's not a barbell. It's an easy curl bar. It's got waves in it, but it is a bar, and we are going to compete with a bar in the bench press. So it's a barbell to barbell. See, and you can use more weight. You can argue with dumbbells. There's stability, and you recruit more muscles because you have to control each one, stuff like that. But if I had to choose one, I would go with the barbell because you can buy plates, easy curl bar, and some clips, and have tons of different things you can do with it. Dumbbells, they're expensive. You got to buy like multiple pairs. That's even more expensive. That's the way to go. Easy curl bar. Alex says they'll last longer than an STP. Yeah, I'm sure they will. Gravestrong says, I like watching Cole Carter do his slingshot benches with like 800 pounds. He's like 55 years old. I think he's actually 63 now, Cole Carter. That's K-O-L-E, which is actually cool because my last name is K-O-L-B, Kolb Carter and Cole Carter. Oh, it's C-O-L-E. My bad. I'm a fucking idiot. It's right in front of me. It's right there. He looks like he does some kind of slingshot bench division. Yeah, I think the SPF Federation has a slingshot division, if I'm not mistaken. That's like the only. No, I won't say that. Not the only. I think even 365 has a slingshot division. So 2 federations that I'm aware of that you can actually compete in a slingshot device of your choice. I think it's 2. I think it's SPF and 365. I talked to Cole Carter a couple of times. He commented on a couple of my videos. Seems like a nice old guy. Yep. I hope to be that strong when I'm his age. Him and Bill Gillespie really are inspirations, that you don't have to stop when you're in your 50s and 60s. You can keep going for years on end, Cody, what's going on? How do you think Julius Maddox would do an equipped suit benching? It's not a suit, it's a shirt. I think he would do great. He just has to do it. He'd have to, of course, work up slowly because you have to adapt your bones. Okay, so that seems to be the problem when somebody goes from, say, single ply poly bench, let's just say an easy number, you get a single ply poly bencher doing like 500 pounds, and they get themselves an over the top kind of band shirt, true 2-ply or 3-ply, they start putting 700 to 800 pounds in their hands, and people start snapping their forearms in half because their bones are not adapted to those loads. So he'd have to work up very slowly. I think he'd do just great. He'd have to work on some technique, though. He'd have to absolutely dial in the technique. That'd be the toughest part. Alex, again, he says, what is your opinion on 2-ply F8 in the multiply divisions? I'm seeing Fed starting to allow F8 multiply, but it has to be no more than 2-ply and in bench only. Hey, I think I just had an excellent conversation about that with Alex on the phone here a couple hours ago. I think we kind of agreed that in about 10 years, I think for multiply, poly will kind of fizzle out in about 10 years, where it's just band shirts, period. I mean, you still have the option of doing poly, but most people just go with band shirts. You still have single ply. Single ply will never go away, which is awesome. Single ply is very near and dear to me, believe it or not. I don't know if that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be. I don't have a voice. I'm not a person. I'm not a meet director. I'm not the owner of a federation. So what do I do? I'm just a competitor like the rest of us. So I only have an opinion. Doesn't affect me. You know what I mean? If it is what it is at this point, if they want to change it and mix it around and blah blah blah, just go ahead. Just let it go. The sport is going to evolve in one way or another. If that's the next part of the evolution, then let's let it go. And if they allow it, then do it. You know what I mean? Like, do what your competitor is doing. That's why I got into the band shirts in the first place. Because Anderson Powerlifting started became the main distributor, the only distributor, sole distributor for F8 products in 2021. So that's cool. And Rob saved the company, I think. And Rob and Tiff and Denise and Logan, they're all just such nice fucking people. I'm so glad I know them. That was the first thing. F8 became an Anderson product, so I was able to use it as an Anderson athlete for 13 years. The second thing was when I benched 1120 in June of 21, that was the heaviest bench ever done, period, regardless of multiply poly, multiply band shirts. I beat everything in single ply poly, but with 1120. And Tiny Meeker surpassed that mark in November of 21 by 5 pounds in a 4. It's probably a 4. I'll say or 5, but a very multiply band shirt by 5 pounds. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do the same thing y'all are doing, and nobody can complain about it. I'm gonna do what my competitors are doing, what my contemporaries are doing. That's what I did. And I ran with it. So, it is what it is. James says APA, WPA have slingshot division as well. Thank you for the clarification. That's 2 more federations then. There's 4 that we are now aware of. I've never heard of either one of those, to be honest. APA and WPA? I've never heard of those. But thank you for the clarification, James. I did not know that. Alex says, I'd like to see Cole Carter in a band shirt. That'd be cool. I think he was getting one from Mendy. I think Mendy was talking to him, but I don't know where that went. I don't know. Cole Carter is 61, turning 62 in a month or 2. Okay, so he's above 60. I thought he was 63, but he's going to be 62 soon. Thank you, Thomas. Bear says, what do you think about going closer grip on equipped pressing? I've noticed I'm way too unstable to press super wide like you. My closer grip press feels much more stable, and I've managed 330. I talked about this earlier. I had a very, very similar question about going medium grip as opposed to wide. Basically, I do believe you're going to get the most out of your equipment if you go wide. But if on an individual basis, if you are stronger that way, if you are better, closer, just do it. I think there's something to be had with, learning to go wider. Maybe your equipment isn't tight enough. You need to go tighter on the equipment. But yeah, if you're stronger, closer, just do it. And who cares how you do it? As long as you're getting the most out of it and you're strong and you're enjoying it, then just do it that way, Some dude says, wondering if you remember when the slingshot came out and there was much dispute about who created the design. Also, if you had to use one, what's your favorite brand? When the slingshot came out, it was Mark Bell. Mark Bell, Super Training Gym, .TV in California. I don't know how he says all like .this and .that. Strongest gym in the West, .TV. Mark Bell was the originator. The first slingshot device ever made was called the slingshot, and it was Mark Bell's product, if I'm not mistaken. And he did it because his guys and himself kept tearing their pecs, benching raw. That sounds familiar. So he made the slingshot to add protection to the pecs when they're in the most vulnerable stage in the bottom of the lift. Stop tearing their pecs off the bone or to having belly tears. Guys were taking T-shirts. This is the story, if I believe it or not, if I remember correctly. Guys were taking T-shirts and kind of twisting them, and then putting their arms through them, and then benching with them like T-shirts. And then he got, what if I do this? And then he made the slingshot. If I had to choose one, what's my favorite brand? Obviously, the F8 Customs brand from AndersonPowerlifting.com or F8Customs.com. F8 Widowmakers, and he makes them single loop, 2-loop, 3, 4. I believe he makes a 4-loop Widowmaker. I have a 2, and I can go above 1,000 pounds with it. I can't imagine putting on a 3 or a 4. I have to kind of back off. I'm going really heavy in slingers. My best slinger bench to this day has been 1,050, I believe, in a slinger. But that's really hard on my shoulders, so I had to kind of back off from doing that. But F8 Customs absolutely has the best slingers on the market. Not even a question. Not even a question. If you want to grab yourself one, Anderson Powerlifting carries single and double loop Widowmakers. I believe the single loop is $70 and the 2-loop is $99 or $100. Get a 10% discount at AndersonPowerlifting.com by using Kolbstrong. Let's see. And Bear says, sweet. Thanks. All right, cool, guys. Last thing I'll talk about is the Kolbstrong Scholarship. We raised $4,000 by very generous donations this past year for the entire month of January, from the 1st, which is long gone, till the 31st. We're about halfway through the month right now, till the 31st, okay? If you have a young athlete that is a powerlifter, competitive powerlifter between the ages of 13 and 23, have them apply. Go to KolbstrongScholarship.com. Go to the sidebar over here. You can follow the steps to apply. Fill out the application, do the application process, send it in, and they qualify, meaning all the entries we get, we have to go through and read each one, and a board of us, myself, my wife, and about 2 or 3 other people will collectively read every entry and pick the ones that need the money the most. We raised $4,000. We are sponsoring 4 young athletes this year through the Kolbstrong Scholarship, which is a nonprofit. What is that called? A 501c3. It's a nonprofit, registered nonprofit, 501c3. I hope I said that right. I tend to fuck that last part up. But it is registered. And so there you go. We pick out the ones who need it the most. And then about late February, maybe beginning of March after the Arnold, we start writing and cutting $1,000 checks to these young athletes to use for gym dues, travel fees, meet entries, new equipment. Okay, if they need squat suits or bench shirts or new wraps, whatever, they can do that. If they just want to blow it on a brand new PS 50, what number are they on? 4, 5, I don't know. They can do that. It's their money to do what they want, but it's intended to be used towards the sport of powerlifting. But they can do whatever they want with it. So again, young athletes, 13 to 23, not 12, not 11. We can't start bending the rules. 13 to 23, and we can confirm they're competitive powerlifters. Even one meet, if they got 1 meet under their belt, they qualify. As long as they're within the age group and they qualify with 1 meet, have them apply. Again, KolbstrongScholarship.com. have them go through the application process, and they could potentially get granted a $1,000 check from us. Thanks to all of you who donated this past year. We didn't have time to do fundraisers with all the traveling we did, 9 different states and a bunch of different competitions and seminars and meets we were helping to help run and stuff like that. So donations is what made $4,000 this time. Paul Wallace says your squat and deadlift sure look like they're beginning to get for you. Got to go well, maybe go well for you. The deadlift, surprisingly, is the lift that is progressing the most out of the two, which is what the fuck? Who even am I? But the deadlift is where I'm seeing the progress the most. I'm really happy with it. The grip is coming along. The mechanics of the deadlift, which I never understood up until like a year or two ago. I'm really, really happy with my deadlift progress. I'm very, very pleased with the way it's going. And for you guys on Patreon and YouTube members, the next time I pull from the floor, I don't know if it'll be this coming weekend or the weekend after, but the next time I pull from the floor, I am going to attempt to pull 700 plus. I pulled 700 pounds in a full meet when I was 20 years old back in 2010. I have not pulled it from the floor since. I want to break that all-time PR for me. Yes, it's not in a competition set in the gym, but even such. So I'm going to do that. It might be this coming weekend. It might be the weekend after. But if you are on Patreon or YouTube members, you'll be able to watch and see if I get it. But it's going really well. I'm very, very pleased. I got some good people like yourself, Paul. You're very, very proficient at deadlift, like very proficient. And I got my guys in the gym. So again, guys, if you want to subscribe to Patreon, it's Kolbstrong, KOLBS2RNG, one word, on Patreon, or YouTube members at $10 a month. I get to watch what I do in the gym 5 days a week. Oh, Mrs. is here. She's not here. She's in Ohio for an entire week, Monday to Monday. So I'm here in the apartment all by my lonesome, except me and the dog and the 2 cats. So it's going to be a long week. But hello. Good to have you on here. Miss you. So that is it for tonight, guys. We got Patreon. We got LMNT. Again, check the description below. We got a link down there, referral link. You click that, you can get some LMNT. And if you are a first-time buyer, you'll get a sample pack for free. And that helps me out too. Thank you very much. I think that'll do it for tonight, guys. We'll see you again. I wanted to do Monday nights at 8, but with travel and just things didn't quite work out. So we will do this again next Monday, possibly next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you have a wonderful week. Have a great week of training, a great week of work, and be strong, be safe. Until next time. All right. We'll see you.